What's the formula for the area of this right angled triangle? Well, you should know from foundation that the area, okay, is equal to base times height divided by 2. Or some write half the base times the height. You can write it like that. So you can either do base times height divided by 2 or half the base times the height. Why does it work? Well, any right angled triangle, if I copy and if I paste another version of that there, here's another version of that triangle, and if I rotate it around, any triangle is half, any right angled triangle is simply half a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is base times height, so if you just want half of it, then you have to half it after. Okay, what about this here, a non-right angled triangle? Let's assume you know the perpendicular height here. You know that height h. What's the area of that triangle there? Well, again, it's base times height divided by 2. Why does that one work? Well, for the same reason. If we copy that and paste, okay, here, and we twist it round, like say something like that, then that forms a parallelogram, or you can put it there even if it's more easy to watch. That's a parallelogram, and the area of a parallelogram is base times perpendicular height. So half a parallelogram is base times perpendicular height divided by 2. So that's a common area of triangle formula we all know. Let's do a couple of examples. Here's one here. What's the area of this? Well, it's the area is going to simply be 6 times 10 divided by 2, and that's 30. Don't forget your unit, centimetres squared. Here's another quick example. What's the area of this here? Well, don't get confused by the 9 and the 8 if we're working out area. You just want the perpendicular height, which is here. So again, the area is base, which is 10, times perpendicular height, which is 6, divided by 2, and you get 30 centimetres squared. And simple as that. Okay, the next thing we need to move on to, the harder topic that comes up in higher, is the area of any triangle where you say don't know the perpendicular height. Like this here would be the perpendicular height. Imagine you're not told that. You are not told anything about that at all. Okay, so you can't use base times perpendicular height divided by 2. What you need to know to be able to do this, you need to be given 2 sides and the angle in between. If you are, the area of that triangle is simply a half times one of the sides you know, times the other side you know, times sine of the angle in between. Now, it doesn't have to be AB and sine C. Rearrangements of this could be a half. You would have BC sine A, because A would be in between B and C, or a half AC sine of B. All of those would get you the right answer here. So really, to make sense of this, it's best if we do an example and you have a go at one yourself. Here's an example, and the question would be, what is the area of that triangle? Now, we're given the slanted height and the base. We don't know the perpendicular height here, so we use this formula. It's given in the formula booklet, a half AB sine C. So this here, a half AB sine C is given. What it means really is you don't really have to label things up. You do a half, okay, times the 2 sides you're given, 15 times 10, times sine of the angle in between those. So times sine of 43. So you type in your calculator 0.5 times 15 times 10 times sine 43, and you get 51.1, and the unit centimetres squared. Okay, I've got one on the next page for you. Have a go, check you can get the right answer, and check it against my work in 10 seconds. Here we go. Okay, in the area of this triangle here, the area, as we said before, is a half times the 2 sides you know, times 9 times 11, and then times sine of the angle in between, times sine of 37. Again, that's given to you in the formula booklet. So you do 0.5 times 9 times 11 times sine 37, and you get 29.8 unit centimeters squared. Simple as that. So recap, if you know the perpendicular height of a triangle, the area is base times height divided by 2. If you don't know the perpendicular height, go to the front of your formula booklet. You're given this formula, half AB sine C. You do a half times the two sides they give you times sine of the angle in between, and don't forget your units.